I'm Jessica Lape, and this is my husband Justin, and we've been going to LCC for about 2 years now.
About 2 years ago, we were really kind of at a peak where we were just, I think, really frustrated with each other, and almost to the point of being angry, but really not sure why.
It kind of felt like, to me, living parallel lives.
Yeah.
We were just kind of existing and getting through day to day. We weren't connecting on that deeper level.
I was at a point in our relationship where, I felt like there were changes we needed in our marriage. I wasn't sure what they were. And I kind of started out thinking, if she would just change, things would get better. I think it was shortly after we started attending LCC that that change kind of started happening in me, and the messages immediately started speaking to me, and I just was being convicted each week. God wasn't playing a central role in our marriage. We'd kind of kept him on the sidelines, and so it was at that point that I asked God to show me how to be a husband. That's when I came to the realization that it wasn't us that needed to change, it was me that needed to change. Once I reached that point where I asked God to give me that guidance and to show me how to be a husband, and to show me how to love my wife the right way.
I started noticing changes in him, and he started being more attentive, started stepping into some of those roles that I needed him at home to take on for me. I kind of joke about the dishes. He started doing the dishes more, and at first I recognized that he was doing those things, but I didn't respond to them. I kind of hardened myself, so it wasn't until just recently that I kind of allowed my heart to be softened and to start that process of forgiveness and not holding him to a standard that I can't hold myself to. Some of the benefits of this process in our marriage, I'm finding in myself I'm more forgiving. Things, little arguments and spats that we would have in the past where I would hold on to those and dwell on those, I'm able to let go easier, and it doesn't become a big deal.
I think we really reached a point in our marriage where we started to kind of learn each other's love language a little better. I realized my outward love language has always been giving gifts. I love to give gifts. But I was never very good at verbally expressing how I felt, and so I would use gifts to do that. And so I would try to give her nice things and nice gifts and things like that instead of that verbal affirmation. And what I started to realize through this process was that the love language that she needed was more of a verbal affirmation. And I think that's really when I started to see the change in her was, when I started to verbally express how I felt to her.
I've always known that he's loved me, but I feel cherished now. Every day he says something or does something, and that makes me want to be a better wife.